Sony's landmark 2013 game The Last of Us didn't make it easy on players. But the difficulty curve was more emotional than technical, for the game delivered the zombie genre at its most heady, grief-stricken and intimate. How it started: grim. Joel, a down-on-his-luck single dad, can't catch a break. Then comes a viral outburst that has all of Texas going mad trying to avoid flesh-eaters, which sends him and his daughter on the run. Full credits haven't even rolled before the child doesn't make it, shot dead on government orders. While there's no shortage of violence in the video game space, The Last of Us did it differently. Action was treated as something to be avoided. Joel's trigger hand would wobble, a reluctant shot in a world in which each close kill would come with suffering. In a genre where action and story were often disconnected, serious cinematic scenes against cartoonish violence, The Last of Us wanted to keep it real. Camera angles were often closely cropped, framing enemies, and infected humans, not as obstacles but as tragedies. And it worked. The game went on to sell about 20 million copies for Sony's PlayStation consoles and spawn both a limited-run comic and a hit sequel. Now, The Last of Us is a hotly anticipated HBO series starring Pedro Pascal as Joel, the latest in a long line of prestigious Bleak TV. But the hype preceding the HBO series, which premieres Sunday, has less to do with the checkered past of video game adaptations or the pedigree of the show's co-creator, Chernobyl architect Craig Mazin. No, it's because The Last of Us always felt like a mission statement, a game that wanted to prove that big-budget action shooters, AAA games in industry speak, could not only have a sense of gravitas but could advance the medium in narrative, gameplay and representation. The Last of Us raised moral quandaries about choice, or the lack thereof, in interactive entertainment, questioned masculinity in games and ultimately proved to the industry that a gay teenage girl could be a protagonist in a genre overrun with tired machismo. What The Last of Us did for you. And in an action game, a game historically made for the hardcore player, The Last of Us starts helping us rethink what we can do in AAA games. Neil Druckmann, the game's writer and the show's co-creator, still speaks proudly of the way The Last of Us pushed boundaries, whether that was in its diversity or simply in its willingness to nudge players to feel the extremities of anguish. You almost never showed a kid dying in a video game. That was such a taboo thing. One thing Grand Theft Auto doesn't have are kids in that world.